and their lives can be transformed. Thank you, and I support.
Majority Whip. Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. I am one of the proponents of this fund, because this fund is one of the very important funds in the Constitution. The Constitution is very clear. It talks about funds should be given counties, national government, and third, this fund that we are talking about. Those three funds. But what has happened over the time, the other two funds have been very important. But this other fund, the Equalization Fund, has been neglected. But it is a constitutional provision. This House has a committee called Constitutional Implementation Committee, whose role is to ensure that the Constitution is implemented in the spirit and in the letter. But for the many years I've been in this House, that committee has never spoken about the Equalization Fund. Neither has it brought a motion here, neither has it interjected during budget to say that it is important that the Equalization Fund must be given as money is given to the counties, so is the Equalization Fund given to those counties that have been earmarked for equalization. That is the tragedy of the committee we have here, and that is the tragedy of Kenya. That at the onset of the Constitution, it was agreed by all Kenyans who voted in the referendum, including the people from my constituents, who woke up very early in the morning, going to vote for the Constitution, knowing that inside that Constitution, there is something called Equalization Fund that would take care of them, because they have been, for many years, been marginalized, for many years they have been underserved, for many years no meaningful development has taken place there, because in 1963-65 there, a sessional paper was allowed in this country to deliberately and systematically marginalize certain communities, including the communities at the coast. Today, Honorable Speaker, we are at that crossroad. That crossroad that isn't this Equalization Fund as important as the money that is sent to the counties, as the money that is sent into the national. When the Honorable Dindi Nyoro here does the budget, he will tell us about the money that will go to the counties. He will tell us about the trillions that will go to the national government. But he lays least emphasis on the Equalization Fund. And when that happens, in this House, when CDF does not come, we all in solidarity make noise that CDF exchequer must be released. When counties do not receive their money, we make noise. The Council of Governors is there and they make noise about money has not been released. But what is the organ? Honorable Speaker, this is the question. What is the organ that is mandated to safeguard and ensure that this Equalization Fund is put in place? What is the organ? There was a time when I wasted my shoes every day walking to the PS for Treasury, who was said to, until today, he's supposed to be the person in charge of distributing that PS Treasury. But PS Treasury is the culprit even when it comes to CDF, when it comes to county government money, it comes to exchequer releases. So what will he do? If he's under pressure from county government, he will release the money. When he is under pressure from national government, the National Assembly will release the money to NGCDF. But who puts pressure on the Equalization Fund? And that is the structure that is missing in the implementation of the Equalization Fund. Because when this is a fund, I remember Kamket tried to propose some changes. And even we looked at that act and we said, let's form a board. A board like the NGCDF board. A board like the Council of Governors, who will ensure that Equalization Fund is disbursed at the same time when NGCDF is disbursed. But the politics that has been there, Honorable Speaker, and this is why I will want to challenge the lawyers in this House, including the Honorable Emilio Odhiambo. We need to amend that law. That we must amend. So that at the end of the day, Honorable Speaker, the people that have been marginalized systematically in this country get a fair share of what the Constitution intended them to have. Get a fair share. But as it is today, I heard the Honorable Mary Emase say that we have a balance of 62 billion. 62 billion. That has not been paid systematically over the years. But if it is a fund, you cannot have that. If it is called a fund in the Constitution, it means if it is allocated 100 billion a year, that 100 billion must be paid within that year. And we should not have a balance. And if there is a balance, it should be accumulated and given to that account. That's what it is. And if it is a fund, it must have an account into which it must be put because it is a fund. Where is the account for the Equalization Fund? Where is it domiciled? Where is it? We want to see how much money is in there. Otherwise, now we should be having a lot of money because we have done 8 years. And 8 years out of the 20 years that the Constitution provides, we have done 8 years. And each year, money is set in the budget for Equalization Fund. So that money systematically needs to be accounted for. Where is it? Where is that 62 billion? Which account? And why is it that Treasury never puts that money there? I have projects that were started in 2017 in my constituency when these things started. And they have been completed. And when you ask ministry, they say, you see, Treasury has not released. Until now, we are saying that now county governments have come, and county governments now are saying they must implement, after the court ruling, county governments are saying they must also implement equalization funds. There are certain functions that are for the national government. I don't begrudge that. But the problem I have is I want to see systematically that there is an account in the county government for equalization fund, which we can audit as members from those areas, those counties. But we don't have that opportunity to do that. So where does the equalization money go? It comes in as part of the grants that come from national government, so the governor can use it on functions even which are not listed. You know, the equalization fund has only 4 functions. Only 4 functions in the Constitution. Roads, health, water, and it's not electricity, it's something else. There are 4. Yeah? Health. Only 4. There are 4 functions. But when a governor gets the money, what will stop a governor from using the money to buy a red carpet for his functions when he receives it as bulk money? What will stop the governor from using this same money to do things that are not within the Constitution? How do we audit equalization fund? Where is the law? What has the Committee on Implementation of Constitution done to ensure that this money is properly accounted for? My people, Kilifi is one of the areas that was identified as marginalized. And a lot of the counties in the coast and those in the north. This nation, when we went to vote for the Constitution, we knew. And I went to vote for the Constitution knowing that I have money that will fast track my county to be at the same level as Kiambu, as Kakamega, as others. But that dream is buried in the soil, dead, that dream of my people. Why? Because we have, and previous government, have systematically ensured that there is no proper law to put into account the use of equalization. I think that has been the trick, that as long as we don't have a law, we can run away from disbursing equalization fund. But the law, Honorable Speaker, you know, you're a lawyer, you know. When something is identified as a fund, in the just like we have consolidated fund, just like we have the CRF, you know, it's a fund. You can't run away from putting money there. But what we will do, we will put money in another place and leave equalization. Because there is a belief, the people from the coast, the people from the north, the people from those other areas that are not as important as the others. We are continuing the 1963 sessional paper. We are continuing the same thing. But we have a constitution we must obey. Just like you can obey giving money to the counties, we must obey giving the equalization fund. That is the constitution of this republic. So when we stand to uphold that constitution in this parliament and any other office, and we say we are swearing by this constitution, why are we failing to implement it for the people that have been systematically marginalized in this country? Why? Because they are not important? I think it is time that those of us who have been marginalized to stand up and say, no, if money for counties is released, money for equalization must be released. Money for national government is released for NGCDF, money for equalization. We
Owen, Baya, why are you looking at me like you want more minutes? The Honorable Millie Grace Akoto Diambo Mabona, the MP for Subo North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wish to support this bill. And in supporting this bill, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I've worked in many years on the issue of equality and the issue of